One minute, the UK government is trying to cut down net migration, and in another minute, you will see that the UK have granted a lot of licenses. So now, if they are trying to cut down net migration, why are companies still getting their licenses? This is the latest update published on the 12th of November. Care workers licenses granted to nearly 200 UK care providers despite labor law violations. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. If you're new to this channel, I create content on UK immigration updates, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK. Like every information about the UK, both good and bad. So if you're someone who is interested in such content, do like and share this video with your friends and loved ones, and also subscribe and join our beautiful family. Without wasting so much of your time, guys, let's quickly dive right into today's video. Over 200 care companies have gotten licenses, and amongst that 200, some of them, their licenses was revoked and they have reinstated it, and they are still allowed to sponsor people from overseas to the UK. Remember, from the Conservative to the Labour Party is being cutting down net migration, revocation of licenses, and so on. But the thing I really do not understand in the midst of all of this is, like I said, in one minute they are trying to cut down net migration, in another minute, and they are approving licenses and also reinstating companies' licenses that were revoked, even when they have found out that the companies have not kept up with Home Office requirements. Just as you can see on my screen, study finds evidence of major gaps in government oversight of foreign workers in care sector. Nearly 200 care providers have been given government licenses to bring foreign nurses to the UK, despite having previously violated labor laws. So for those who are saying that they stopped recruiting from overseas, you can see that they've been given licenses to bring over foreign nurses and care workers to the UK. Now, according to the study that highlights widespread employment problems in the social care sector, the report by the Work Rights Centre shows 177 companies in England have been given licenses to sponsor carers, even while publicly available information shows them to have violated workers' protection in the past. So a lot of people who have migrated are going through this right now because they are even scared to speak out because of threats from employers. But now, from the report and the findings, the same employers' licenses that were revoked are being reinstated, which means that once a license is reinstated, they can still bring people from overseas. So how are they going to cut down net migration? It's obvious that this net migration thing, like I had always said in my videos from when I stepped into this country 13, 14 years ago, they've been talking about net migration, still talking about it till date. So just as you can see, the study gives further evidence of major gaps in the government's oversight of its foreign carer regime, under which hundreds of thousands of nurses and carers have traveled to Britain for work, only for many to experience exploitation and poor working conditions. Like we all know, I usually have consultations and I see a lot of them. Even on the streets, even at the city center, I see a lot of people that are currently frustrated because the employers told them, oh, come on, there is work, or whoever that did their COS for them. So they all come, there is work, and at the end of the day, they got here and there was no work for them. But now people are still surprised that the same government that have said that licenses should be revoked are still reinstating companies' licenses, especially when they have found out that those companies did not meet Home Office compliance. It will not prove an early test for Labour's new employer rights enforcer, which the government has promised as part of its workers' rights package. Dora Olivia Vico, Chief Executive of Work Rights Centre, said, our research finds that breaches of employment rights are endemic in the care sector. This cannot come as a surprise to the Home Office, which granted license to companies history labor violations. For those that have been saying, Fajira, I've been searching for jobs. I heard the UK government have said there should be no recruitment from overseas. Guys, this is what it is. So for those who have been exploited, the fear of retaliation from their sponsor employer is enough to force them into silence. Like I said earlier on top of this, working conditions are barely tolerable, with work schedules either all-consuming and exhausting, or so spells that they do not provide enough income to make ends meet. The previous government turned to foreign workers to plug huge job gaps in the social care sector in the wake of the pandemic. with 350,000 foreign carers traveling to work in Britain last year alone. The Guardian revealed this year that many of those who come for work are not given the jobs or the hours they were promised, despite in many cases have paid tens of thousands of pounds to secure jobs and travel. So a lot have paid. Like, I heard of someone who paid almost 30 something thousand pounds, 30 something thousand pounds just to come into the UK, and there was no job for this person. He's a guy that moved with his family from Bangladesh, and he paid 30 something thousand pounds. And at the end of the day, the annoying part is that there is no job for this man that has paid that huge amount. So they are just depending on what the wife is bringing in. And because he's tied to that company, he will need another company to sponsor him. And this is a known factor. From the report, you can see that even some companies that actually did that are still getting their licenses, and which means that they can still sponsor people from overseas. And once they do that, they will still bring in more people to frustrate. I pray you don't meet any of those companies, because a lot of people that came through such companies are frustrated right now. As you can see, experts said the government has exercised little oversight of the system, allowing some care companies to continue bringing workers from abroad. Despite clear evidence they are mistreating people, the Work Rights Center study shows at least 1 in every 14 companies with a license to sponsor foreign workers has previously violated employment regulations. And you know what that is? Whether by offering substandard care, paying less than the minimum wage, or breaching health and safety rules. The organization also spoke to 92 different carers and found nearly 2/3 health and safety breaches, bullying, or discrimination at work. Over half also said they were given unsustainable working hours. For example, being asked to work on a duty for as long as 100 hours a week, despite only seeing clients for a fraction of that time. And by law, you're not supposed to work up to these hours for a week. Vetkopa, the Home Secretary, promised an investigation into the sector before Labour came to power, but has not said anything about holding one since the election. So will it be that the Labour Party are not really interested in the care sector anymore? That's what I don't know. But from what the report says, that the Home Secretary have not said anything regarding the investigation she promised before the election. Now, the Labour has won now, and they are not saying anything about it. And a government spokesperson said, "We are deeply concerned by reports of unethical practice within the adult social care sector, and we will continue to act where evidence of abuse is found." The government recognizes the scale of reforms needed to make the adult social care sector attractive to report workforce growth and improve the retention of the domestic workforce. However, the sector also needs to help ensure international recruitment in the care system is both ethical and sustainable. So this is what they are looking at. So if you're still overseas and you're still thinking that you can stop recruiting from overseas, then it's not true. They are still recruiting, just as you can see that 200 companies have been given licenses, and amongst these 200, some of them, their licenses was revoked, but they have reinstated them, and they are still allowed to bring people from overseas. But I just pray that in course of searching for jobs, you don't get a job in an organization that will bring you to this country and do not give you hours as they have promised. A lot of people who actually paid for their COS are victims of this. So if you're able to get a job in an organization that you didn't have to pay for, I'm not seeing any reason why you will get here and there will not be hours for you. That's because the company is recruiting from overseas and they are desperately in need of carers from overseas. So there is no way you will get to the UK and you will not get hours, just like some who have arrived. A lot who arrived are those who actually, maybe they paid for their COSs and so on. But if you're lucky to get a job in a company that you don't have to pay for, it's because the company is desperately looking for you, right? You will get it and you start working. From what the report says, they are angry that those companies that have violated the rules, especially employment rights, they are still giving license to sponsor within the UK and from overseas. So when searching for jobs, just be vigilant as well with the organizations, because I'm sure you don't want to get to the UK and be frustrated. But trust me, at some point you will be sorted. But that's not my prayer for anyone watching this video. So guys, this is the latest update published on the 12th of November, and I thought I should share with you so you know what is happening. So in as much as the UK government is saying we are cutting down net migration, I have always said this on this channel. They said this from when I arrived in this country. and they're still saying it now. So this is something that will continue. So do not give up. If it is UK you want to migrate to, still try your best to see how you can put things together and migrate to the UK. So guys, we've actually come to the end of today's video. And if you find this video helpful, please do like and share this video with your friends and loved ones. And also do subscribe if you're yet to join our beautiful family. And until I see you in my next video, guys, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.